the heart of the Hawks. The tournament arena hummed with the restless energy that Arlo could feel in his marrow. For months, the Blue Hawks had lived for this morning, training until their lungs burned in the cold morning air. Arlo sat on the bench, his fingers tracing the stitched edges of the number 15 on his jersey. Beside him, Jace was a blur of focus, methodically wrapping his stick with a fresh black tape. This wasn't just another game, it was the culmination of every early practice and every grueling drill. In the tunnel leading to the ice, the air grew colder and the roar of the crowd more visceral. Barrett, the team captain, stood at the threshold, his presence steady like an anchor. As Arlo approached, Barrett held out a cloud fist. "Number 15, Barrett said, his voice cutting through the noise. "We need your speed today. Leave it all on the ice." Arlo met the first bump with a sharp nod, the weight of expectations settling comfortably on his shoulders. The semi-final was a whirlwind of white ice and flashing blades. Arlo moved like a shadow, weaving through the opposition with the puck glued to his stick. However, the Red Talons were a formidable wall. Milo, their strongest defender, intercepted Arlo's path with a heavy shoulder check. The impact sent a jar through Arlo's frame and his skate scraped the ice as he fought to maintain his balance, the puck skittering away into the corner. By the end of the second period, the scoreboard told a grim story. The Hawks were down by 2 goals and the momentum felt like it was slipping away through their fingers. Arlo and Jay slumped against their boards, their breath coming in ragged plumes of frost. "They're faster than we thought," Jace admitted, his face flushed from intensity. Arlo gripped his stick tighter, looking at the clock. The seconds were ticking away and the dream of gold was beginning to flicker. The final whistle was a piercing cry that signaled the end of their championship hopes. The Blue Hawks had lost the semi-final. Arlo sat on the players' bench, his helmet in his lap and his gaze fixed on the scuffed ice. The silence of the locker room felt heavier than the loss itself. Coach Miller sat down beside him, the wood of the bench creaking under the weight. He didn't look at the scoreboard, he looked at Arlo. "Winning is a moment, Arlo, but resilience is a character trait," Coach Miller said, his voice low and steady. "The measure of a Hawk isn't how he celebrates a win, but how he handles the sting of a loss." Arlo looked up as Barrett walked over, offering a hand to pull him up. They were out of the running for gold, but the bronze medal game was only an hour away. They had one last chance to show what they were made of. They returned to the ice with a different kind of intensity. It wasn't the frantic energy of the morning, but a cold, calculated resolve. In the final minute of the bronze medal game, Arlo saw Jace breaking toward the net. With a flick of his wrist, Arlo sent a precision pass through a gap in the defense. Jace caught the puck and fired a lightning-fast slap shot that found the back of the net, clinching third place. The ceremony was a blur of bright lights and the metallic clink of medals. Arlo stood in line with his teammates as the bronze medal was placed around his neck. It wasn't the gold he had envisioned, but as he felt its weight, he realized it represented something more. Barrett stood beside him, tapping his own medal against Arlo's. "We didn't fold," Barrett whispered. "That's worth more than the color of the metal." As they walked out to the parking lot, the winter night was still and silent. The adrenaline had faded, replaced by a deep, satisfied exhaustion. Arlo pulled his coat over his jersey, but he left the medal visible. "Third place feels different than I thought it would," Jace said, looking up at the stars. Arlo nodded, adjusting his heavy gear bag. He realized that the tournament hadn't been about the trophy, but about the way they had found their footing when they slipped. A week later, the fanfare had died down, but the fire remained. Arlo was the first one on the ice for the evening practice, the number 15 on his back, a promise of things to come. Jace joined him a moment later, their skates cutting synchronized arcs into the fresh, smooth surface. They weren't just playing for medals anymore, they were playing because they knew they could overcome anything the game threw at them.